What are your biggest fears? Yeah, fears. Where do they come from? And what do they do to us? Fears come from, as I see it, they come from old experiences and things we have been told. So we have been told that if we step out of line, we will be punished. We have been told that if we do not follow the rules, we will be punished. We have been told that if we do not do what our parents, society tell us to do, we will not be loved. And of course, a lot of it is not said like in words like that. My parents have never said to me that if I didn't do what they told me, they wouldn't love me. They haven't said that, but it's like there's some basic instinct in us, maybe from the the old times. Where it was crucial to be a part of it was crucial to be on these cars. It was crucial to be a part of the tribe to survive, because if you were like pushed out of the tribe because you were sick and not able to keep up on the journey, you would be left behind. So there's a lot of fear-based things in our mind, and I think that doing something like believing in the fact that it's not about the money, believing that it is all about believing, that is very scary to most people. And because they are afraid of getting set outside the tribe themselves, they will do whatever they can to convince you that it's maybe not such a good idea. There was a young girl, I think she was 20, who had, she was posting here in the tribe that she was going to tell her parents about her 25k loan. And she was worried about how they would take it. And that is, I think, very typical, because there's a lot of stuff that we do not dare to tell our family or closest friends because we are afraid of how they will react to it. I, for myself, I still have, I'm 51 years old and I still have troubles telling my parents certain things. It was a big thing for me to tell my parents that I had started and I had invested money in it, because my mother, she has a history of investing in another type of online product, which involved selling a product, but also mostly she was supposed to convince others to enter and be selling for them, you know. And so she has a record of entering this kind of thing does not give you the results that you want. So she was very concerned, and she wanted immediately to check out what is the company called. And you know, I could just hear her punching away on those buttons, searching the internet. And I just said to her, Mom, I know what you're doing and I know that you love me, and I realized that you're trying to keep me safe, but this is something that I feel is right for me. It's and I am not going to let your history determine what I do in my life, because that is your history. It is not mine. You have your history, you have your experiences, and you have reacted to them or in the way that you did, and that is about you. It's not about me. So I knew it was important for me to let go of my parents' concern about me going into this, a kind of business. And it was important that I took the full responsibility for my feelings about going into this business. And talking about that topic, I think a lot of people, myself included, have a lot of fears about trusting ourselves and trusting our judgment. Am I really sane enough if I do this? Is it? There are so many other things that you can invest your money in that have proven return. Maybe not on the same scale, or definitely not on the same scale, not what I have come across. Everything, actually everything you do that is going to give you a possibility of having a major outcome, somehow it takes some kind of risks, because if it did not, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be investing in Bitcoin if there was no risk in it, and if it was a proven thing. So it's if you want to be extraordinary in your life and do extraordinary things, you have to do things that nobody else or not many other people are willing to do. You have to be willing to take risks, and that is definitely something that I can feel now that I took the risk. I'm standing in it, and now I recognize that the big deal and the big thing for me is to keep trusting that it will all work out. Dan, he said the same thing yesterday, coming in at the visionary meeting, a visionary call. He said there were times in his journey where he was lying on the ground, like a baby, all cuddled up on the floor, crying and worrying where the money is going to come from for the next advertisement, or how he's even going to have something to eat off or live off. It's not that I'm saying that we all have to get to that point. I don't mean that, because I don't believe that. But we all have our journeys, and we all have our points of fear. And I believe that you have to look at what is your biggest fear. And I know that beyond the biggest fear that you have in your life, that is where you are going to get your prize. Going beyond your biggest fear, that is where the goal is. And it doesn't matter if it's the fear is about money, or the fear is about standing up, speaking in public, or if it is just doing something different than what the family normally does, because I'm so confident that is the key. That is the key. So what I'm trying to say is that everybody's journey is going to be different, and we do not all have to lie on the floor shaking, worried about where the next money is going to come from, or we're not all going to make $200,000 in a year, or a little more than a year, because that is not the things that we do not all desire that. Some of us have different desires and of the outcome. So okay, that was it for me. Bye bye.